You haven't lived until you've heard the show Americans are talking about. The show that launches its listeners to the height of humanity. The audio hour that travels the landscape of adventure. The sound that comforts more than the clip of your first bolt. It's the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show!
We're Outdoor Adventure Summits, the airwaves. This is the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. I'm your host, R. Brandon Long, on belay with you for the next maybe we're going to the full 60 today because we have a full house, full show, full load. By my side is Kory Davis of Ogden Avalanche. Across from me here in Banyan 1 is the best co-host in all the land, Todd of the Top. Todders, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good? Across from Todd, Ben Bauter, also of Ogden Avalanche.
No, across from me is you. Besides,
besides Todd.
Yeah, we got to put that
screwed
picture
that
on
up.
their
Totally
heads.
screwed that up. Yep. Yeah. Next to you, next to your right shoulder there, Ben Bauter.
Yes. Okay, we're clear now.
Benny, how are you?
Doing great.
Doing great. Okay. Okay, good. This week we have a Weekly Happy. Also, our two guests who are fully alive because they've been drinking coffee at WB's, Kory Davis and Ben Bauter of Ogden Avalanche, introducing the Backcountry Bash. We have a trip report from the Continental Divide Trail with Bryden, Bowley on the docket. A lot's happening this weekend and some new on the radar coming up in February. We'll tell you what that is. In the news, including snow is coming, Weber River restoration, Altera buying Sugar Bush, Backcountry CEO had to move out of his house because he was threatened, and a Piranha Poet. So give you something worth watching that you're really going to love. It's an animated short. Todd, it is fantastic. If you are into SAR, Search and Rescue,
or animation or shorts.
Or animation or shorts, or short shorts, you will love this. Worth watching.
Nice.
Give you something worth reading. If you are, if you are looking for information on mental, not just illness, but how to recover from things mentally, there's a pretty good one about running. Also, 10 Commandments for Staying Alive in Avalanche Terrain. See what I did there? I'm tying the show together.
You're doing great.
That was Tremper's article from a couple years ago. Gear 30 segment, Mylands quote of the week, and Outdoor Jukebox. So all of this and more on Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show episode, 342, I believe.
Don't mess with the numbers.
Yeah, 340.
Don't mess
Well,
with the numbers.
we forgot one. Let's charge.
Summits with the agility of a mountain goat, flashes routes faster than UPS, is more intimate in the mountains than Jake Gyllenhaal. He's Todd to the Top.
So that was like a super weak Let's Charge. I need another Let's Charge.
Let's charge!
Thank you.
Let's charge! All right, do you remember the 1986 film Fire and Ice?
Yes,
You do?
I do.
This is the Weekly Happy.
This is a language we can all
so you can-
fall
yeah.
into.
But the music, though.
Oh, nice.
86 ski films. Got to snap your fingers. Tap side to side. Fire and dice.
This is what you were doing the entire time you were watching it, huh?
Fire and dice. Yeah.
Ooh, I like the choreography.
Oh, if this doesn't make you happy, mimosas will.
Combination
Nothing
of the
like,
two.
skiing and sparklers.
Super safe too. Yeah, exactly.
Skiing and sparklers. Going
When we're talking Ogden Avalanche, this is Kory Davis's field right here.
That is.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you know that ski ballet was famous in Ogden.
You bringing it
Famous,
back?
so famous.
You bringing it back?
Yeah, backcountry ski ballet or ballet. Sorry.
Backcountry. Nice. All right, that's the trailer to
support it.
Fire and Ice, 1986 Willie Bogner film, for those of you interested.
I gotta find that. I gotta find that on VHS as well.
I thought you might even have it on VHS.
I gotta go through. I'm gonna go through all the tapes, which
Yeah.
will take a long time once we get the VCR here in the
Oh,
studio.
man, I'd be so stoked if you had that.
Yeah, and if I can't, I will find that. That's a joy. I want all the
Fire and
70s
Ice.
and 80s films.
We need a big screen
Oh,
out
yeah,
here in Banyan, and then that's just
Playing
on replay.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I love it so much.
Done. Good find.
All right, joined here by Kory Davis and Ben Bauter of Ogden Avalanche and the Backcountry Bash. Should I include myself?
Yeah, you are a board member.
So you haven't fired me yet? Because
Nope.
I did a terrible poster. Actually, you didn't even use the poster. You printed your own.
You didn't even make the poster.
This story
I
gets out.
efforted the poster.
I feel like we
okay?
really uncovered something right now. Yeah. You got to be able to accept that. Sometimes, Brandon, they're
All right.
going to reject what you do.
Yeah, he did like a 70%. He got some of the logos on and then never finished
Wait
it.
a second. 70%? That's like Banyan's motto.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
if we
C.
could present 70%, that is a C.
You know, I tried to tell him that, Todd, and he rejected me. He's like, well, you're missing this logo.
The standards are
Yeah.
obviously higher than the Banyans, which is fine.
He got Gear 30 logo on there, though. That was the important part.
It was, yeah. There was self first. Kory, what is Ogden Avalanche? What are we even talking about? Is this like a real thing?
Yeah, it is actually a real thing now. We are a nonprofit.
Like registered?
We are registered. We have like a tax ID number and everything. I had to fill out a tax form
With
this
the
spring.
state or like with, you know?
With both the feds and the state.
All right.
Yeah,
It's all done out of the back of somebody's van, but it looked legit.
Yeah, it was in the back. It was a tan van, actually.
We have all the official stamps in the back of that.
You need a passport? I mean, just come to the tan van. They'll just pump them out for you.
I feel you're going to have to
weren't
mute that
supposed to tell
mic
people
soon.
that.
Yeah.
but-
Nominal fee.
Yep.
How do you guys make any money?
Yep.
we have 0 advertisers. Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
advertise with you. We don't have any
appreciate
money either, but, you know, it's
I get it.
fine.
I get it. So how are you funded?
We are going to be funded by the Backcountry Bash in 2019-20.
Okay, so when's the bash?
It's the 21st of November
Of November. At the front.
at the front.
Who's invited?
Everyone is invited.
You don't have to be a member. You don't have to be. You have to ski.
You don't have to ski. You don't have to. You can be into ski ballet. You could be into like backcountry ice skating. You could be into backcountry sledding, like talking real sleds, not snowmobiles here.
Oh, okay.
Like
Plastic sleds.
snowshoeing,
Snowshoeing.
Country skiing.
walking,
Even ultra running.
ultra runners. They're
Definitely.
always invited.
I want to see the ultra runners because you mentioned the other day, and it's something that we don't think about. Ultra runners are animals. They get out year round and they run slopes that are directly under avalanche terrain,
This is
whether
true.
they know it or not. Yeah, that was a mimosa break.
Yeah, it was. Sorry.
And they do it year round in those short shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, now every now and then they'll throw the tights on underneath.
Yeah, or the tall socks.
Yeah, tall socks are a thing.
And you know I'm semi-connected to those people.
Semi?
Yeah, those people. I'm not one of them. We're separate, but equal, right?
Yeah, but you like run next to them.
I do. So I care about them deeply. But anyways, yes, ultra runners. I don't know.
Okay, how much does it cost to get into the
It's
bash?
$20 to get in.
What does
if
that
you
get you?
buy your ticket early.
Oh,
It's $25 at the door.
okay.
So get your tickets early. Why not? And you get entered into a early bird raffle.
Just for those who purchased early.
Yeah. So it's easier on us because we know how many people are coming then.
So $20, you get to hang out with us, all of us
The
here
four
in
of
the trailer.
us. Yeah. Brandon will MC as always.
Sarah asked me yesterday, "Oh, you're MCing the bash, aren't you?" I'm all, well, I have no plans to MC the bash, but what happens is Kory hands me a microphone every year.
And let's be honest, Brandon lights up.
And then I just do my
He
thing.
recognizes himself as an MC,
Yeah.
even if he's not hired to do it.
Yep.
Has he ever been to an event that he hasn't MC'd?
I have no notes.
Not very often.
Yeah.
It's usually me on myself on the mic, and I'm okay with that. But when she asked me, I'm like, well, I don't have any plans to. I plan to show up and enjoy the moment until Kory hands me a microphone.
Whatever. Hand him a microphone, hand him a beer, and you'll be fine.
I have it right here. Like on my list of sponsors, it says Gear 30, and it says on board, yes, and it says what are they donating, and it says Brandon ?
Again, that sounds like something we would do.
Wait, so you just like me,
Yeah.
like
That's
me
part of the raffle.
Yeah.
It's one of
Yeah.
those, an evening with.
for how long?
Well, I don't know. Should we raffle you off
That's what
like
I'm
one of those
asking.
dates like they used to do?
Right.
I think
what I'm
that's a good
asking.
idea.
I am married.
Well, I mean, we can ask Bobby.
Just one evening. She'd be fine. It's going to a good cause.
Or you could raffle off my MC skills.
Yeah. That's true
always
too.
which is probably worth more.
But have you ever gotten paid to MC?
Listen, Kory, I know that's a funny question. I get paid more to MC than a lot of other things I do. Weird, but it's some I do. Many I do free, but
Yeah.
when I do get paid, and I get paid well actually.
Well,
to
I'm proud of
MC.
you.
But I don't do it often. It's not like you can MC every weekend or something. I don't know.
Well, you do almost MC. You MC'd last weekend.
You MC most of the time.
Yeah.
What was last weekend?
Wasn't it the
it's-
awards?
It blends.
Oh
Yes.
no, yeah, I did. Yeah, I was the. Yeah, but they call that something special. Like, it wasn't the host. It was something else.
I think it's a master of ceremonies,
Master of
which
ceremonies.
is an MC. So it's going to be very similar.
Everyone's wondering, how does this guy ever get any jobs?
Word of mouth. Word of mouth. That's all it
Nobody
is.
else wants them at all.
It's because, let's be honest, it's you and Shane Osgothorpe, and that's it. If he's busy, you get the call.
I rounded the corner from Wall going east on 25th Street last night, and for whatever reason, the question in my mind became, who is the voice of Ogden? Why, I don't know, and it was Shane Osgothorpe.
Yeah, you think
Like
he's-
Shane
yeah.
freaking Osgothorpe.
Yeah. And you're kind of in the shadow, let's be honest,
I'm
a little bit
second.
in the shadow.
I'm
Yeah.
second or third. Yeah, I don't know who the other one would be, but yeah. Okay, so if we raise money for Ogden Avalanche, back to the task at hand.
Oh, sorry.
If we
There was a
raise
reason for this,
money
yeah.
for Ogden Avalanche, where does the money go? This is not just beer money, Ben,
Yeah, it's not just petty cash anymore.
because you wasted all the petty cash at the bar last year. Is that correct?
No, Ben lost it. Is
okay.
actually what happened. We didn't actually spend any of it because we lost it before we could spend it.
Yeah, I didn't actually drink the night that we spent it all on beer or lost it, so it ended up in my glove box, but I did not put it there.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're saying is that when you buy the $20 entrance to the bash, it's going to go to a safe place.
Yeah.
You're clearly starting to establish that. It's somehow attached directly to the bank. Please.
Yes, it is attached to the bank now. We have a bank account.
Well, you have to now, and you have to disclose it because you're
Yeah.
a nonprofit. Yeah.
This is true. So, anyways,
Wait,
it's,
are we disclosing salaries?
yeah, we
'Cause you
have,
have
to.
to. Yeah.
everything's
Sweet.
public.
Sweet.
So, I mean, we haven't made anything yet to disclose, but at some point we will
okay.
disclose your salary.
Okay.
The day we hit the black.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day we hit the black. So the money goes to what?
We're going to step up our outreach and education in Ogden this year. We're going to do, well, obviously Know Before You Goes, which we've always done, but they're all going to be on us now. They're not going to be supported by the UAC. So the one we're doing at the Gear 30 on December 12th, right? Oh, he's looking at his calendar.
I am checking.
It's December 12th. I know this.
Okay.
So that's one
continue.
thing. We're going to do more of the season reviews. So we did one at the Shooting Star last year, which you video live casted.
I made it into a magazine.
You did make it in the magazine because of that.
That was dreams come true right there.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to be in a ski mag,
Congratulations.
and I made it.
Podcasting.
Podcasting.
Yeah, and it was full back shot. Like, nobody knows who I am.
It was that. Hey, that was your good side.
But that was the best side, and
It
it was
was-
my headphones were high, and I looked interested in what I was doing.
And it was
so-
like a professional ski photographer
the
took
same-
the picture.
and that part's true. And you were also in the photo.
Yeah. And Ben.
Ben was in there too. So
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing Ben.
Hidden.
Hidden, yeah.
at the bar, it's like a Where's Waldo
Behind you.
At the bar.
Looking for the petty cash.
But yeah, and we're going to try and do some free beacon clinics this year also in the Ogden area. Maybe Powder Mountain, maybe Snowbasin. We're not sure yet. We're still working out the details on that. Yeah. But our goal is to break even this year because in the past we've just spent a lot of money with no money coming in. And so we have a lot of other things that we have to pay for also, like a website, which we're going to introduced this year, and then we've also joined InfoX International. Yeah, InfoX International, and that's like a information sharing website for avalanche things, and so that also costs money. Lots of things cost money, as we all know, and so that's what the bash is going to fund this year.
So, what's the relationship with the Utah Avalanche Center?
It is still very good. We are donating some of the proceeds to the UAC from the bash also.
So, how come Ogden needed their own avalanche forecasters?
We're not forecasting. We're just sharing information and education at this point. But in the future, we've talked about forecasting at the board meetings, but it's been tabled so far.
That was a very executive statement of you.
Because Ben's technically the executive director. I'm just in charge of outreach and education here. But why did we need it? We just felt like we needed a little bit more Ogden, right? I mean, Ogden is an interesting place, and especially the winter sports community. Like I put on social media the other day, I think we're all like within 1 or 2 people of each other in Ogden. There's not like you can go anywhere in the winter sports community and be like, oh, do you know this person? They're going to be like, no. Right? I mean, look at your.
Well, what happens is you're like, oh, well, he's friends with so-and-so. Like, oh, yeah, I know. I know. Yeah.
Exactly. Just like the DOJO homies that were here last week, right? I mean, it's all intertwined here. And so just like Ride Local First, just like you guys here in Banyan One, just like anywhere you go in Ogden, we want Ogden to be represented. And so that was where Ogden Avalanche came from.
Very good. So what's the future hold for Ogden Avalanche? You have hats. You sold a hat this morning in the coffee shop.
We did sell a hat in the coffee shop because we have a great art director who made our logo.
Wasn't me.
Now you're just marketing, and
you're not the art director.
I'm not the art director. I'm not the graphic designer.
Speaking of, don't we have a graphic designer in the house?
Oh shit! No, I'm tapped.
He's tapped. He's busy.
I'm making time for you guys today.
Yeah,
so
that's all we get.
Take that. I don't even hear about these events half the time until after I see the photographs.
Yeah.
It's just assumed that, he's busy doing something.
Yeah, he is. He's busy doing other things.
But I fully support what Ogden Avalanche is doing, including,
thanks.
I like your motto, which we could probably change from Still Untamed to Ogden is interesting. I like how you worded that. That was great. And it's like everybody knows each other or is related to each other.
Yep.
Ogden.
That's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
But yeah, I mean, I've only been here for like 12 years. So like I think in 3 years I can officially be like an Ogden local. I think you have to do like 15 years. Is that like
just own it. You're a local.
Okay. Well, if Todd's letting me in, then I guess I'm in now.
It's just involvement, I think, has to play a little bit of a part into
okay.
it. So.
Because, Ogden used to be known as like, oh, it smells like dog food up there. Why would I go up north? And now we're like...
No, it still does, but it's we're adding to that. Our portfolio was bigger than it was. It's more than just the dog food.
I know. It's a great place.
Yeah.
All right, come to the bash. The bash is going to have, we'll have spirits and food.
Yeah, Ogden's own distillery
Yep.
is our number one spirits sponsor.
Beer.
Roosters is on board this year. Big news. We added another beer sponsor. So, we've run out of beer in the past. And so we needed another beer
Roosters
sponsor.
is making more beer than they ever have, so that's probably a good bet.
Yep. And
if they run out, they can just go get some.
Yep. And that's what Talisman has done for us in the past, too. So that's our other beer sponsor, Talisman.
Down
there on 12.
Roosters, Ogden's own.
Yep. The Slice. Can't forget about Lucky Slice, our homies.
We got to pay for a slice, or is it $20
No.
to get you some pizza?
So $20 gets you in. It gets you pizza from the pizza truck, which will be out back serving their slices.
You gonna let the van in this year?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to get it in last year, and you didn't show up on time, and so it was blocked.
It's true.
That really does sound like that's possible. Yeah.
But we can try and get the van
blocked by Lucky Slice.
Yeah, the pizza truck was in the way.
Yes, they get there early.
You didn't tell me to get there early. You told me to get there like on time, and I was like 20 minutes late, and I was van
Or
blocked.
what's probably true with Lucky Slices, they just never left from the last
Yeah.
event. They're just still there.
The van is just there, or the truck. And you get 2 drink tickets, so that can be spirits. Admiral Pepsi is also one of our sponsors, and so they bring the non-alcoholic, lots of Mountain Dew for the kids. So bring your kids and get them hopped up on Mountain Dew.
The kids don't need to pregame on Mountain Dew. Just bring them.
Just bring them.
There's going to be plenty
They
there.
can drink Mountain Dew and Boulder all night long.
The kids can. We can't, right? Because if you drink, you can't climb.
Right, you can't drink and climb. But the kids, you can drink Mountain Dew and climb.
You can do and climb all night.
Yeah, so you get your climb on and then go put your wristband on.
Yeah.
Once you got a wristband on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so you get two drink tickets, pizza for $20. So that's like going out to get pizza anyway. So it's that same price.
And it's a Thursday night.
And it's a Thursday night, and you get to hang out with your friends, and you get to check out all the booths, right? We're going to have a bunch of booths this year, more than last year. Weber County Star is going to have a booth set up talking about what they do. You know, I don't really know what they do. No, I know what they do. They save
stop
lives.
by their booth, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Sarah's going to be there. Gear 30 will be there, of course. Atomic and Solomon will be there. Goal Foundation is setting up a booth. See, like, we're legit. Goal Foundation is showing up.
You did something right, Kory.
Yeah, I know.
I'm proud of you.
Who else? I don't know. We have lots of booths that are going to be set up. I have a list here. Look at how long this list is of people.
So to find out more information about this event, really I would follow Ogden Avalanche on Instagram, because throughout the season you do a very good job of updating the conditions.
Oh, thank you.
On the Instagram. So that's at Ogden Avalanche.
Yes.
The website is weird. So the website is
The website's not quite up yet. We're still working on it.
It's just a blog.
Yeah,
right now.
ogdenavalanche.org. But if you like search Ogden Avalanche, or what, because if you try to just type it in and go, it's because it's not the HTTPS or whatever, it doesn't recognize it necessarily. So just search Ogden Avalanche.
Nah.
Yeah.
And we try to update the blog once a week. That was our big push last year. And so we did
So
that.
as far as conditions goes, this year the plan is Instagram,
Yes.
and then you're going to be, because there was quite a few blogs last year.
Yeah, we tried to do one every week almost. So that's a lot of blogging. Just current conditions and sort of where we think we're going or where we've been was what the blog was mainly.
And then I asked you this before, so you already have the answer in your head, ready to go. Why should people check conditions before they go into the backcountry?
Can you just answer it for me again? Because last time you saved me.
I wrote it down.
I know.
And I don't know where I put it.
I wrote it on the paper.
Todd's looking at Ben like, save us. Like, these two.
Yeah, Ben, what our executive director is going to answer the question, because I already answered it. Why do people need to check the forecast before traveling into the backcountry, Mr. Bauter?
Well, if you wanted to attend one of our Know Before You Go classes, like the one that's on December 12th, that'd be a great option to kind of get a few of the reasons why. But really, you need to know the conditions to know what you're getting into, to know whether certain slopes are going to be off limits that day, to know what kind of terrain you want to venture into. I mean, we get really technical and boring about it.
Well, to remind Kory of his answer, it's that helps you make better decisions when you're actually out there. So that when you see the slopes, you know what to expect a little bit. It just gives you a heads up, so that when you're out there in the mountains and you see what's going on in for real land instead of just on a website or something, you have some information to go off of.
Yep. And I was at the DMV when I came up with my answer, and I actually used Ben as an example. I said, you know, if you're like Ben Bauter and you commute to Salt Lake every day, if it's snowing, you're going to check Google Maps and see where the traffic is, and that's exactly what checking the forecast is in the morning for avalanches.
Yeah.
So
And that's kind of, you know, a little bit of how Ogden Avalanche was born. Is we were all kind of texting each other anyway and calling each other in the mornings. It's like, hey, where did you ski yesterday? Where are you skiing tomorrow?
Yeah.
What did you see out there? And it became a way that we all kind of networked anyway. And then now that we've been doing it through Instagram, people send us a message saying, hey, I was here today and this is what I saw, and maybe I want to check that out. And then Kory or I or, you know, Daniel or any of us to go out and check out and see if we can find those areas, so that when we put our little post out the next day, it says, hey, watch out for this. We saw this. Or, you know, look out for the wind. The wind's supposed to pick up tonight. You might see some touchy wind slab stuff. That's kind of how that all happened, is it was through just the community of Ogden.
Awesome.
And that's kind of what we want to do. Hopefully with the website, there will be a way that people can submit observations, so you can say, hey, this is what I saw out there today, check it out.
And this is good for, again, we should mention snowmobilers, not just skiers and splitboarders, excuse me, but snowshoers, trail runners, anyone who ventures into the back, and maybe even if you're hanging out up there avalanches don't ever drop into North Fork Park, do they?
No,
It's
but
pretty low.
there was actually above Weber State a number of years ago, there was a fatality actually. Like right there above like the fitness trail. Have you ever been to the fitness trail?
Hey, what are you saying?
That was harsh. That was harsh. Oh.
Listen.
I know he used to
I don't
hang
think
out
that's
up
how
there.
he-
That's what
He didn't
I
mean anything.
meant.
Brandon, he didn't mean anything.
I
by
didn't
that.
mean it like that.
It's too late. Do you know what? I watched the football game last night. That guy didn't mean to rip the helmet off the other guy and hit him in his head with his own helmet.
Yeah,
right?
I know. That was fierce.
It was way fierce. You didn't mean what you just said either. I get it.
I was napping through that part of the football game.
It was like 7 seconds left. So the bash is next Thursday, the 21st.
Yes.
Everyone should go. $20. Get your tickets before. It's 25 day of. We'll be there. Lots of local vendors will be there. We'll have a good time. Get your drink and eats on, and most importantly, help fund the Ogden Avalanche.org, OgdenAvalanche.org, and you can follow Ogden Avalanche at Ogden Avalanche on Instagram, and go to the website that Ben will have up soon or in time for the season at least, so that you could hopefully submit obs.
Yes.
Sweet.
This is true.
You selling anything?
Selling.
Are you guys selling any hats? or
We
anything?
sell hats and bags, and what did we get this year? New. We
So
didn't.
maybe bring a few bucks for that.
Yeah, bring some money, bring some cash. We'll have the square thing. We can take cards. We're fully legit now. We can take credit cards and stuff at the door.
When you guys want to go let Bryden in?
Oh
I'll go
yeah,
with you.
I can let him in.
All right.
Todd's got
Oh,
it.
that's so sad.
I know.
That was a mean way to. God, Bryden's here.
Bryden's
Could
here.
you just?
No, but he
Like,
called and I missed the call. I'm
OMG.
assuming that's what's happening. He could have called because he's late. I don't know. He might not be out there, Todd.
Yeah, like us last year. But look how
You were
early.
so early that you're like lit on coffee, which is fantastic.
I know.
I thought I bought an extra orange juice thinking you guys would take me out of mimosas, but we're doing all right.
No, we're going slow on the mimosas, high on the espresso from next door. What is that? W's?
WB's.
WB's.
Good
That place
stuff,
is
right?
awesome.
Right? Yeah.
That place is really
I
cool.
hear, pro tip, go there right as the sun's setting because the colors are just beautiful from that glass out there. And in the spring, summer, or nice weather, you can sit out there on the patio.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm into the Monarch. I'm 100% in.
On the docket. Stick around, you guys.
Okay, we're not going anywhere.
Okay, tonight, and listen, I called probably 5 times yesterday to get tickets, and they were they finally had to change the Peery's Egyptian Theater finally changed their message on their answer machine to say we've had a high volume of calls today for tickets. It will sell out. Get it early today if you haven't got your tickets. Ride Local First's Dojo, presented by Ride Local First, is tonight from 7 to 9, and it's gonna go. So
Show up early if you want good seats.
Yeah, I
They
listened
did it
in.
last time. It was jammed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to break the record for beer sales is what I heard from your podcast last week.
yep, break the record.
That's my goal.
And then Saturday night, Snowbasin Sports Education Foundation Winter Welcome right here at the Monarch. We had them on the show last week as well. The Sports Education Foundation Winter Welcome from 5:30 to 10. Come to the Monarch for that. On Monday, Ski Movie Mondays at Slackwater. Beer, pizza, movie, raffle.
You know what's being shown?
Is that all we do in Ogden is like eat pizza, watch ski movies, and drink beer? Because, I mean, it seems like I'm seeing a trend.
When there's no snow.
Oh, true.
Yeah. When there's snow, I can't get you anywhere.
Well,
that's when you're late to
It's
podcast.
that same list, but then you're adding
it's
snow
not,
to
yeah.
it. Yeah.
The Cup Hop Ogden Nature Center Friend Drive begins on November 22nd. You buy a coffee mug, and then you go to, there's different times. So on November 22nd, you go to Harrison Grounds for coffee, and you get free coffee from 7:30 to 10 a.m. And then again on December 3rd, you go to Cafe Mork, you get free coffee because you buy the cup of coffee, and then you go to these different coffee places, and you get free coffee. It's called a Cup Hop, and it supports the Ogden Nature Center. That starts on November 22nd. The Bash, which is the day before. Look at that. I switched those. Is Thursday. So the coffee's on the Friday. The Bash is on the Thursday at the front. We just talked about that. From 6 to 9:30. Be there. Again, another Ski Movie Monday at Slackwater on the 25th. Snowbasin opening day, the 27th.
Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Snow's coming. Well, we'll see.
Someday.
Yeah, we'll see.
The white ribbon.
We don't want too much snow early. It's already getting bad out there.
We had some avid, we'll say, Joe and Kobe, backcountry skiers in the shop last night who were talking about just that, how they were like, couldn't be happier with the way things are setting up right now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Except for they're a little worried about what's the small
there.
base that's there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lurking out
Yeah,
there.
if it doesn't melt off, and then I also heard it needs to either that or just needs to rain a lot.
Yeah, rain high and then start snowing a lot.
Yeah.
All right. New on the radar, tickets are now available for the Banff Mountain Film Festival World Tour at Peery's Egyptian Theater in February, from February 14th through the 16th. Another event in which you need to buy your tickets early, because that's like seating, and Todd and I have made that mistake where we're on like the front row looking.
That was garbage. Garbage seats. It was painful. Definitely too old for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was not. It was no good. Was there a little extra room in front of the seats, I think, down there?
There was
That
extra
part
room.
was actually a little bit nice,
Yeah.
but it was a little too tight. So, yeah, think ahead just a smidge.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
buy your
why
tickets
we
now.
tell you, that's why you listen to the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show, so you know about these things.
Yeah, do as we say and not as we do.
All right, in the news, it will snow this winter.
Yes, at some point this winter it'll snow.
Bringing you the best news in all the land. In fact, meteorologist Chris Tomer says it's going to snow very soon here all across Utah and Colorado the week of Thanksgiving. So we'll see if he is correct.
Who the hell is this Chris Tomer?
I don't know. Should we play this?
Why should I trust this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I only trust the KSL white jacket guy.
The KSL white jacket.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good track record.
Something stormier, and I think we can. This is going to differ a little bit from the snow and ski video updates that I normally do.
You guys wanted this, yeah.
Place, obviously. So let's talk about the pattern. I've been calling this sort of the Great November lull.
Where'd you find
here.
this?
These first 2 weeks of November have
Unofficial
basically
networks.
delivered
Okay.
very little snow.
Where I find all my news.
Parts of western and southwest Colorado.
It's the equivalent of information from the back of a van.
Yeah, it's like the onion of skiing.
That's how I make all my political decisions.
Pressure, it has been almost bulletproof, and basically a dome of its.
Okay, so that's enough of that guy. All right, it's going to snow this winter. Okay, yeah, also in the news, Weber River restoration near. I've got one remaining here at the Standard.
Ooh, looks like we have an incoming bee.
Near West
there he
Ogden
is.
track line site, approved by Ogden City Council. There's Bryden. Bryden, come on in, my friend. That seat might be wider down there next to Benny.
Are you saying that I'm wide?
No, we just went over this, Kory. I'm wider than you. A restoration project on the Weber River near Ogden City's Trackline Economic Development Project has been funded. So about $30,000 grant money from the Utah Department of Natural Resources. Ogden engineer Justin Anderson said the city plans to build a fish passage channel on the Weber River near 24th Street and Exchange Road. Anderson said that an existing central Weber sewer line prevents fish migration in the area. So this is good news. Good news. Good stuff for our local fisheries and rivers in town.
You got to get a shot back here on this bench because it's just we all look like little kids with the legs sticking like straight out. This bench is so wide. Here, I'll sit back. Yeah, this is a good one.
They're so cute at that age.
I know.
tell you what, yeah. Oh my gosh. As soon as we're gonna wrap up in the news, and then we'll chat. We'll do we'll chat with Bryden here. Talk about the CDT. So Alterra Mountain Co., which owns two resorts in Utah. Kory, which ones?
I looked last night. It's Deer Valley and Solitude.
Knew you would know. They're buying Sugar Bush in Vermont. So they are expanding. Will they compete with the big mountain resort owners?
And when's Vail buying that one? Or
Yeah, Vail be too much. Alterra, we will buy you now. So,
a little threatened.
also, Bryden, there's some mimosas up here if you are so inclined.
All right.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so the Backcountry CEO received a threat online. This is not good. I mean, they screwed up big time, but don't threaten the man, all right? Like, he had to move his family out of his house there up in the, and that's not okay. So a message over Instagram read, "I know where you live, a nice, pleasant place in Summit County, and you will suffer dire consequences," according to the Park City newspaper. Backcountry had... Why are we laughing? What? This is not funny.
Sorry.
Backcountry offices in Park City and Salt Lake City. The Summit County Sheriff's Office added Nielsen's home and the company's corporate headquarters to its property. So, they received major criticism over filing petitions and lawsuits against smaller businesses for using the word backcountry. What's the name of our event coming up?
The Go in the Woods and Ski event.
Okay, good. I thought we changed that.
Yeah, we changed it.
Yeah, you gotta watch out now.
I just wanted to make sure that. Okay. So the CEO's not in his house right now, but don't threaten the man. So there's a poll up at S News, and the poll is Backcountry doing enough to? And the S News is an industry website, an industry place where people who own retail shops can get information on how to be a better retailer and that kind of thing. If you produce gear, sell gear, whatever. But it's public. Anybody can go there. Is Backcountry doing enough to regain the trust of customers and partners? And the answers are yes, this was just business and they're being vilified, or they're on the right track by accepting responsibility, or they haven't done enough yet and need to make financial amends, and finally, no, they are dead to me. 42% no, they are dead to me, according to this poll, over about 500 votes. And then it's like 19, 19, and 20. So it's the first three are split, and then 42% know that they are dead to me. I think they have a problem.
Did they put any small businesses officially like out of business? Or?
They certainly did, and then they withdrew the lawsuit and basically hired the guy. So we'll see how that. And then there was backlash on him for being a sellout to back. We're just convoluted, but
What do they call that? Shill.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's one word.
Or what were they called? I grew up so did Bryden, in the great Midwest. Picket. What are those people called that go across the picket line? What were they called? Do you remember?
Oh, people who are like protesting.
Yeah. Like the UAW, and then they go across the line and then they start working for the automotive industry again. I can't think of what it's called, but that's what he is.
Yeah, you're gonna think about it in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it.
Yeah. So finally, in news, Prana awarded $100,000 to a software engineer turned poet in a dream job promotion. What would you do with $100,000? Queena Bergen, a software engineer turned poet and motivational speaker, said she would quit her job to travel the country to bring motivation, inspiration, and poetry to the forefront of any conversation. She says, I want to help people believe that the way to achieving your greatest ambitions is dictated by your everyday decisions, Bergen said in her application video to Prana's $100,000 dream job promotion. So she is the winner chicken dinner.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's great. Where'd Prada come up with $100,000?
Not from us.
It was Prana, not Prada.
No, they're doing okay, is what I'm saying. Prada's good. I like that too.
All right, trip report. Bryden, Bowley, how's the CDT looking?
Right now or just over the summer? Right now it's really cold.
Just
snowing.
quickly wrap up your 4 months trip report.
Okay,
on the
real
CDT.
quick, just a couple sentences.
90 seconds.
It was great. It was fun. It was hard. The CDT it's a real extremely beautiful trail, yet extremely challenging. Very rugged terrain. Lots of very challenging weather to hike through. Very cold, very rainy, very windy. That's what I have to say about it.
What
in
about
a nutshell.
an animal report?
The most wildlife I've ever seen by far. I saw 2 grizzly bears, 3 black bears, a marten, 15 moose, lots of deer, lots of elk. There was a herd of elk walking through my friend and I's campsite one night in Idaho. That was really cool.
Coyotes.
Lots of coyotes. Yeah, that was cool.
Cows.
A lot of cows.
Yeah.
We were drinking out of the same water sources a lot.
That's gross.
It was pretty gross. Definitely filter your water everywhere. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
were you scared of bears?
Yeah, how close were you to those? Did you say
Grizzlies.
how many grizzlies did you see?
I saw 2 grizzlies. Actually, that's a cool story. I saw the 2 grizzlies in Glacier from a very far away distance. They were, I was going up a pass called Pitamakan Pass, and they were on the opposite side of the valley on this snowfield, and I could see that they were running and jumping, sliding on their bellies down, kind of like playing or like sled riding, except on their bellies. And I was looking at them and I thought, there's no way anybody's ever gonna believe me that I'm witnessing this. And then a couple days later, on Glacier National Park's Instagram, they posted videos of grizzly bears doing that, sliding on their stomachs on snow. And they're like, grizzly bears do this. This is something that they do for fun. And I thought that was really cool. So the grizzlies were from a very far distance, but I saw some black bears at a pretty close distance.
Like in your tent?
Not in my tent, but yeah. But yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
you mentioned this on, so we recorded a little segment too on the Gear 30 podcast about
Right.
your trip, but
Uh-huh.
you mentioned on that one about the Bob Marshall Wilderness.
Yeah, the Bob Marshall.
And what they do with bears there.
Yeah, so what I've heard is that when a bear is, I guess, misbehaving, maybe has gotten into someone's food, gone into too many campsites, did some dumpster diving kind of thing, they say, okay, this bear is a problem bear, so they tranquilize it and then relocate it to the Bob Marshall Wilderness. So,
And
hiking.
you spent how many days?
How many days? It was a while. It was back in June that I was there, but it was 190 miles worth of hiking, 180, 190, something like that. So
I
took
could
about-
tell you right now at least 5 names of some people in Ogden I'd love to do that and just like trank them, relocate them. to like,
and just
I'm
put them in
saying,
the
like-
Bob Marshall.
I'm thinking like Wendover or something.
They wake up, they're like, "Where am I?"
I'll bet we
Oh.
can each come up with 5 names like that, like easy,
Yeah,
like quick.
They probably would love it too. They're like, I'm in Wendover.
yeah. I've always wanted to be here.
Just like the Bears. Just like the Bears.
My people,
good.
my people.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, so the harshness of the CDT, it was the hardest thing you've ever done,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
The hardest hiking I've ever done by
and
far.
you started, in Canada, border of Canada.
Right.
The idea is that you hike south all the way to Mexico on
Correct.
the Continental Divide Trail.
Yeah.
You came up short. What happened?
A lot of things happened. The first initial thing was I got a really bad ear infection. I got an ear infection behind my eardrum, and that happened when I got to a place called Ghost Ranch in New Mexico. It was about 100 miles in on the trail from Colorado into New Mexico. Got this ear infection. Luckily, I have an aunt who lives in Santa Fe, so I got picked up and went to her house, and I stayed there for. At the time I was thinking, okay, this should just clear up in a couple days. I'll just wait it out and then get back to trail. And then a couple days turned into a week, and I had to take all these steroids for my ear, and then a week turned into 2 weeks. So that was definitely a big hiccup. And while I was there, it was snowing in Santa Fe, and it was really cold. So I had a lot of time to think about the trail. But one thing I want to say is I don't want to blame my ear infection on leaving the trail, because I very well could have waited it out and then gotten back to the trail. But in those 2 weeks that I was at my aunt's house, I really contemplated the trail and sort of processed my emotions about the hike. And I really did come to the conclusion that I didn't really think I was actually having a good time out there on the CDT. I'd say from like the Wyoming Basin to Ghost Ranch, I didn't really quite enjoy it as much as I did.
Basically, Colorado sucks.
It did. While I was there, I there was days that I enjoyed it, but I sort of felt like I was in Colorado a month and a half late than the best time to be there.
Like highs in the 50s, 40s.
Yeah, during the daytime, highs in the 50s, and that's because it was sunny.
Yeah.
But then in the nighttime, it was getting down to very winter temps. It was in the teens consistently, sometimes in the single digits.
And we know you hike in short shorts, and short shorts don't do well in teens.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I barely wore. I had a pair of pants. They were just these like cheap Amazon sil nylon pants that I got on Amazon. But yeah, I mean, the ear infection was a big factor in it. But as a whole, I just thought to myself, I'm really spending my time. I'm hiking, but I'm not really enjoying it. So I just figured I think it's just time to leave, and that's okay.
And it was how many months?
4 months.
4 months.
June 24th to October 21st.
Incredible. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And how many miles did you average a day on hike? Because you had down days, but when you were hiking,
I think it's safe to say 26, 27 a day for. Yeah, because there was a lot of days that were more than that, but there was a lot of days that were less than that. And then there were some 0 days in town not hiking. So, like, if I just collectively threw it all together, I'd say, like, in the 25, 26 range.
that's right. The verbiage is 0 days, not down days. 0 days.
Yeah.
And then how many hiking days to 0 days? Like, how many 0 days did you take? Or
On the CDT,
Not counting those last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, not counting the last 2 weeks. This trail I actually surprisingly took a lot more than I thought that I would. I'd say in total probably 15 days off in town, 0 days. In the beginning, I was hiking a lot faster than I thought I would, and I made it from Canada to, Yellowstone a lot faster than I thought that I would. But then I definitely slowed way down in Colorado. It was a lot harder hiking.
I loved cruising up there and meeting you in Yellowstone.
Yeah, that was so fun.
So much
fun.
That was
a.
I got to play tour guide.
Yeah.
I felt like I was with a rock star on the trail.
Whatever.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was really, really nice. That was awesome.
How was hiking through, national parks, Yellowstone?
Yellowstone was awesome. I really enjoyed it. All the geysers and like those hot pots were really cool. Kind of felt like you were on another planet. And then I eventually got to a part of Yellowstone that like it was very obvious that not a lot of people hike through. It was in the southeast corner of Yellowstone. I went down through there, and the trails definitely seemed to be a lot less trafficked than they were in like the northwest corner of Yellowstone. So that was cool. It was definitely scary. I was kind of on my toes at all times, like, is there going to be a bear right around this corner?
Yeah.
Because Yellowstone's known for that. But I didn't see any bears in Yellowstone. And then south of there was the Bridger Teton National Forest, which was cool. So I was walking on these ridges, and then to my right in the west was the Tetons. For like a couple days, I could just see them right there. It was really cool, and the sun would set over them, and that was cool. So.
And then you hit the winds.
And then the Wind Rivers. The Wind Rivers on the CDT for me was definitely the best. It was hands down the best time on trail I had the whole CDT. Glacier was amazing, but it did rain quite a bit. But then the winds was just like perfect weather. It was sunny. It didn't rain. It wasn't windy, and yeah, I was feeling my strongest at that point. So it was really fun.
So what was your traveling companion situation?
Not much. I started the trail with my
He found some interesting people I know.
Yeah. I started the trail.
That's what I want to hear about. Yeah.
I started the trail with two people, one of my really good friends and his girlfriend who was coming out. So we hiked through Glacier together.
The girlfriend was coming out or came out to the
She came out and hiked for a month, yeah.
Makes for an awkward trail hike.
Yeah.
Or a significant trail hike.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah.
So we hiked Glacier together, but then they were moving a little bit slower than I was, so I went off by myself at that time, and it ended up turning into like a really lonely hike. There was other CDT hikers, but everyone seemed to sort of be on their own pace or hiking schedule or whatever, so I just sort of went on my own, and I ended up hiking East Glacier, the end of Glacier, to pretty much Steamboat by myself. I mean, there were other hikers out there, and I would see some people sometimes, but for the most part, I would say it's safe to say I hiked East Glacier to Steamboat
And then
alone.
you ebbed and flowed as far as wanting to be alone and wanting to be with someone else.
There was I definitely, there was moments where I thought, okay, I definitely feel like I'm a solo hiker and I want to hike alone. But then it got to a point where I was like, oh wait, maybe that's not actually how I truly feel, because I've been alone for so long. There was a couple hikers, like this guy Cargo, who I hiked with a bit, and then this other guy, his trail name was Bitter Goat. I just know him as his real name, Amethan. But yeah, we hiked a bit together, like in Lima, going into Yellowstone, we hiked together. But for the most part, it was pretty much by myself.
Okay, real quick, what's your kit look like? How much does it weigh?
Okay, standard kit, like summer, spring, fall kit would be Palante Pack, which is a small pack company in Salt Lake. A Western 20-degree bag is pretty standard for me to use. Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. And shelter system, I haven't really dialed that in. Like I've been experimenting with a lot of things. Nemo.
We learned what doesn't work.
Yeah, I'd say a Nemo Hornet one person. I want to try the Elite version. It's like a lighter denier of the material, so I'd like to try that one. If not that, probably a Z-Pax tent. so there's that. Then like general like clothes. I don't carry too many clothes. One down jacket, a base layer for my legs, maybe a base layer for my torso, but the down jacket does that. Either that or just no down jacket. A winter hat, extra pair of socks, one pair of underwear. That's pretty much it for clothes.
Minimal.
Yeah, and then a Snow Peak pot, 700 milliliter, and then the Oli Camp Ion. I don't know what it's called, but it only weighs like 1 ounce, and that stove is awesome.
Can they shave that just a little bit from that 1 ounce? Because there's somebody working on that right now.
Yeah.
No, there is. Yeah.
And then I carry like a general like electronics bag with cords, maybe like a little notebook to like draw. Sometimes I carry crayons because I like to color and draw weird things. And then
How many SD cards?
on the CT I carried 4, and I filled 3 of them.
Oh.
Yeah, and they're 128 gigs, so I've got a lot of stuff. And then like a med kit with some hikers would say my med kit is like over the top, but I carry like, you know, like a little sort of Leatherman. It's not a Leatherman, it's like really small, but it is like a Leatherman, so it has a knife and pliers, medicine like ibuprofen, Benadryl, stuff like that. I carry this thing where like if I or someone else were to get cut really bad, I can like put this like sponge and it'll like soak it up. I don't know what it's called, but I have that.
Quick Lot.
Okay, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah. That's all I can remember that's in my med kit now. So that's it. And that usually, I think that weighs 8 pounds, 8.5 pounds, probably something like that.
Like, that's insane.
That's what
8 pounds, and then you add food and water.
Food and water, yeah. Yeah.
What do you eat?
Okay. A lot of different things. I don't usually make breakfast. Usually
It's coffee. A lot of coffee.
Yeah, I do drink a lot of coffee on the trail. In the morning for breakfast, I usually just pack up and then stuff a couple bars in my the Palante pack has this like really cool snack pouch underneath. It's like at the base of the pack. So I stuff it in there, and then you can like grab it, and then there's like a trash bag part of it, a trash stuffer. So I would stuff like bars in there. Candy bars usually. Belvita breakfast bars are my favorite thing for breakfast on trail. So I eat a bunch of those, and then for lunch usually I'll stop at like noon or 1 and usually make a ramen with and I add Idahoan instant potato soup, not the mashed potatoes, but specifically the potato soup. I'll like pour that in the ramen so it makes like a potato-y ramen sort of soup, which is good for lunch. And then
Sounds great.
Yeah. And then dinner I usually make like a Knorr rice side, or sometimes I'll just re-eat that same ramen potato soup.
Even better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you lost a little weight then.
I did lose weight at one point. Yeah, like towards the winds I was definitely losing a lot of weight, but I think that was also due to the temps were a lot warmer, so I was sweating a lot. And I was walking a lot further distances. But then I did feel once I got to Colorado, seeing how I was slowing down and it was way colder, I felt like my body sort of went back to what like the normal weight. I don't know.
Homeostasis there. So
Yeah.
if you'd like to read more, so you did dispatches along the way. There's 6 of them. They're up at gear30.com, gear30.com. It's Simba Hikes the CDT. There's 6 that we have posted, and then you have one more that you submitted, right? The kind of the wrap up one.
Yeah, there's 2 more actually.
Oh, 2 more?
Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah.
If you really want to get to know how and what he did, it's phenomenal. These dispatches are incredible. If you're thinking about through hiking any trail, and then specifically the CDT, there's information in there that you just won't find anywhere else. It's very valuable.
Can I ask him something?
Yeah.
What kind of shoes do you wear when you're through hiking?
Vans.
You just wear those are Adidas, aren't they?
Yeah. These are Adidas.
And that
skate
makes
shoes.
sense because Simba hikes. You know, he's wearing Sambas. You know, like
Nice.
no, really though. Which shoes did you go with? The
Yeah.
Cascadias or like? Who?
That's a really popular shoe.
Yeah.
I've never worn the Cascadias though. My shoe of choice was always Ultra.
Ultras.
Generally, I would wear the Lone Peak 4. That's the most recent Lone Peaks.
Or that's Superior.
Those are the Superiors. My one really good friend who just finished a trail swears by those. He loves this. He loves the Superiors. But I usually would choose. I like things with a bit more cushion. So Lone Peak 4s. But then my all-time favorite is the Timps.
Okay.
I really like the Timps. It's just like a bit more cushion.
Squishy.
And then they're more. If you look at the top part, it's like more mesh. So it's more breathable. And on the CDT, you're doing a lot of creek crossings all the time. So the Timps, since it's more mesh, it like dries out a lot faster.
Cool.
So, yeah, that was my shoe of choice. I definitely really like Ultra. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
You know, they were a local company.
They were. Yeah. What
And
happened?
Like semi-sponsored. I mean, he gets paid by Gear 30, he gets paid by us, and then he does get donations from gear companies as well. So which is pretty nice.
Ultra sometimes.
However, he's very picky. Like he's like, I know what I want. So if Company Z gives him something, he'll try it. But it's not like it's gonna be the thing.
Right.
So
yeah. It's very.
I'm looking
specific.
forward to your gear reviews. So there's a ton of
Thanks,
gear
yeah.
reviews. They'll be out in the spring of stuff that he filmed on the trail. So that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering too, as far as all of that content, you putting something together? You putting a video together? You doing a?
Yes, I am. That's another thing. So aside from all the gear reviews that I filmed on trail for Gear 30, I also filmed a short film of the CDT of my experience. And it'll be similar to some other videos I've made from Sweden and Nepal. So that'll be, I'll be editing that throughout this fall and this winter. So we're looking more of like a spring, late winter kind of release for that.
So I have a question too. If you're doing all this filming and stuff, are you using solar panels and batteries or stuff like that? And then your base weight being 8 pounds, what's your camera equipment? just
12.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, if you're 8 pounds, what's the camera equipment?
That's a really good question. I should definitely touch base on that because the base weight, I failed to mention that my base weight being 8.5 pounds, that's just my pack. I forgot to say that I do carry a fanny pack with my camera equipment. So technically that would count towards my base weight, but that's something I carry all the time. So I don't know what
I didn't
that
ask the
weighs.
appropriate
Yeah.
question. I should ask, what's your fanny pack weight?
Yeah, exactly.
It usually comes back to the fanny pack.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
About power source, I don't use a solar panel. I use an Anchor battery that I got on Amazon. I think it's 13,000 milliamps or something like that, and that would charge my iPhone 7 probably 6 or 7 times fully. And I would only use that for my iPhone. Generally, my camera batteries, I would charge those in town, and those would last the whole stretch to the next town or even further. And I would carry 4 batteries, so I would just charge those in town.
So you did carry 4 camera batteries, though.
I carried 4 camera batteries, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that is really important, though. My fanny pack and my camera equipment does not count. I did not calculate that into my base weight. There are some really particular hikers out there that would be like, you're carrying a fanny pack and you have a camera. He's lying. His base weight's not 8.5 pounds. Yes, that is true, but like my pack and everything I'm carrying on my back is 8.5 pounds, somewhere around there, and then I have a big fanny pack. So if we really want to count that towards my base weight, it's probably
But
in
it
like
probably
the
helps
11
balance
to 12 pounds.
The 8 pounds on the back.
Oh yeah, it makes me go like this on the trail and no balance. Yeah.
And then what kind of camera are you using when you're doing this? Like a DSLR, or are you using GoPros or something like that?
I'm using a Sony A7S II, which is a mirrorless camera. It's full frame, and I carried one lens that I kept on the camera at all times. And for the camera people out there, it's a 35mm 2.8 Zeiss lens. So it's really small and compact, sort of wide, and it just kind of does everything that I need it to do on a trail like that. So
look for the film coming up. That'll be worth watching from Bryden, and then you can go to Gear 30 and check out all the dispatches.
Yep,
Thanks, Bryden.
Thank you. Yeah. If anybody ever is interested in through hiking, long distance hiking, or any sort of backpacking trip, I love when people contact me and ask me questions who are interested in getting into it, and I would love to answer any questions or help people out, because I remember I was at a place like that too, where I had no idea what I was doing, and I asked so many people so many questions, and I loved hearing people answer those questions with experience. So feel free to contact me
tomorrow, and then you'll be back after Christmas. So you'll be in the
Yeah.
shop, so you can come down to Gear 30, ask for Bryden.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Thanks, Bryden. This week's worth watching. How do you say that? How do you say that, Kory?
I'm gonna go with what you're thinking. It's whores.
Oars Piece. This is a short film. It's unbelievably done, and I suggest everyone watch this. Whoa, fancy 90s type tunes here. It's definitely worth watching. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but you get an idea real quick. This is
this is the animated one.
Animated search and rescue gone wrong. Search and rescue gone way wrong here. So you got your, where are they at?
They're flying into.
Oh yeah, this is very dramatic. They got to fly into the top of the mountain.
Is that a
here
skier?
To rescue the down skier.
Yeah, it is.
Down skier. Yeah. Is that a little better? I just like the music. They don't talk.
Their boots.
So far, so good on everything.
Yeah, it looks legit so far.
I mean, these guys know exactly what.
That's why you don't carry things above your head around a helicopter. Pro tip.
Well, that was the ski tip. Ski tip hit the rotors. Helicopter went over the edge of the mountain, and that's it, crashing at the end at the bottom. And it exploded.
Did everybody get out of the helicopter?
Nobody was in it because the ski tips hit the rotors, and so now they're all stuck on the top of this mountain. What should the search and rescue team do? How do they get this poor gentleman off the mountain?
They're so calm.
They don't. Yeah, they're pros.
How long is this?
They're using.
It's like 5 minutes. So yeah, it's worth watching. Something that you got to go. It's not very long because we're already a minute and a half into it.
Well, what the hell happens?
You want? It's 6 minutes long. Well,
no, I don't want to watch the whole thing.
You don't want to watch the whole thing.
Did you see how it offended?
Yeah, I saw the whole. It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, it's like it's. No, it's worth watching. That's why we give these people.
I've seen it. It's all over the interwebs.
It's pretty funny. Well, this is what not to do with the rope.
Is this a Pixar thing?
No, this is
just a fanboy.
It's French, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. 46 awards and festivals, including a BAFTA for Best Student Film.
Wow.
And more than 150 selections. Our film is online in full for only 1 month, so you only have 1 month to go watch this film. If you go to the Gear 30 notes at thebandingcollective.com, then hit Ogden Outdoor Adventure, all of the show notes are there, and there's a link to it, so you can watch it. It's pretty good. Definitely worth watching. Gear 30 segment, the promo code OOA. Go to gear30.com, use OOA, save 12% on your purchase. I think this week's deal is Elan, meaning you'll save like 15% on Elan skis this week. All you got to do is just go to the website and buy from us. That's it. Or if you want something else, enter the promo code OOA at checkout. You save 12%. And for those of you who live in town, buy online, save 12%. Click the little button that says pick up in store, and we'll see you there and give you a hug and then hand you your stuff.
I've never gotten a hug.
Easy. You didn't buy online.
Oh, that's true.
Did he not just clarify that? But if you're listening right now and you enter OOA, you save 12%.
12%.
Got it.
12% at checkout.
And maybe a hug.
But you don't get hugs if you buy in store.
Well,
no, you get high fives.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a policy thing. I don't know.
There's been
I'll
complaints.
give you a hug.
All right, thanks.
If Bryden is there, he'll give you a hug. Yeah.
Bryden's down. Bryden's down. All right, quote of the week. Let the past drift away with the water. That is a Japanese saying. Let the past drift away with the water. Thank you, Banyan One, for powering today's 342nd episode of the Ogden Outdoor Adventure Show. Look for us on Facebook, iTunes, Instagram, Spotify, thebandingcollective.com, again with all of the show notes and links to all the things we talked about, including the dispatches from Bryden and information about the Backcountry Bash with Ogden Avalanche. Chat with us on Twitter. Hit us up at Ogden Adventure, at Banyan Podcast. This week's Outdoor Jukebox, sifting through hours of crappy music so you don't have to, or recording our own music so that you don't have to
record your own music.
Yes, this is a song. It's a Clutch cover, Electric Worry from we recorded the Heavy Bucket Band, and so this is was it Electric Worry? Is that the name of the song? Yeah, Electric Worry from the Heavy Bucket Band, as recorded in a van at the Monarch during First Friday. As John Muir would say, the mountains are calling, and we must go.
Let's go.
My someday baby ain't worry my life.